All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the live stream, and the court is calling SP 107-43291. Jessica Douglas, the charge is improper plates. Is Mr. Dewberry also going to be dismissal, Mr. Werbling?
Yes, he is, Judge.
All right, so the court will also call at this time. Well, first of all, Ms. Douglas, please say your name for the record.
Jessica Douglas.
Thank you. And the court is also calling SP 115-18911, Daron Dewberry.
Yeah.
Charges improper plates, count 2, driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle, and count 3, no operator's license on person. Mr. Dewberry, please say your name for the record.
Daron Dewberry.
Thank you. Mr. Werbling, your representation, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ben Werbling, P64889, on behalf of both defendants, Your Honor.
Sir, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, it's my understanding for the city, there's recommendations to dismiss for both defendants.
Sir, it is so ordered. All matters are dismissed for Ms. Douglas and Mr. Dewberry. Are there any mandatory fees for either one, Madam Clerk, that you see?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Douglas, Mr. Dewberry, your matters are dismissed. You may disconnect from the hearing. Have a good day. Thank you for your
All right,
patience.
you too.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right.
And
all right.
who is ready now?
I just had Mr. Dixon left for House Counsel purposes.
Okay,
Mr.
let me take a look at Mr. Dixon's file.
Okay.
Okay, and let me take a look. The docket sheet is showing this as a careless, Your Honor. However, it's my understanding that this is a, it says, oh, it is careless. So I had it wrong. So how is limited access 60 and a 55, Mr. Warbling?
I think that'll work. Thank you, Ms. Horn.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Werbling, that means you need to go back into the breakout
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, I forgot where he was.
Madam Clerk. And in the meanwhile, are we able to go with the plea for Mr. Ramirez?
I'm ready to go, Your Honor. Thank you.
I am trying to put Mr. Dixon in a breakout room.
Is the officer still here?
Yes,
Or
Officer Luca is still here. Mr.
Okay.
Dixon, can you join breakout room 1, please?
Could you repeat that, ma'am?
Can you join breakout room 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So what I'm gathering that you want to finish with Mr. Dixon prior to going to Mr. Ramirez.
I think so. I think that would be more efficient. So if there's any extras that we need to handle.
me, Your Honor.
All right. The court is calling case number SP 115-0021. I'm sorry, that's the wrong case. SP 122-50001. Damon Lamar Dixon Jr. And the charge is no insurance. Count 2 of that same ticket, careless driving. Mr. Dixon, if you're in the virtual courtroom, sir, please say your full name for the record.
Damon Lamar Dixon Jr.
Thank you. And who's representing Mr. Dixon?
Good morning, Your Honor. Ben Werbling, P64889 on behalf of Mr. Dixon.
And Mr. Werbling, how are we proceeding with Mr. Dixon?
Your Honor, it's my understanding he wants to waive his rights, Your Honor, as Mr. Dixon will do so, pleading responsible to the amended charge of limited access speed 1 to 5 with the agreement that the no insurance would be dismissed.
Okay, sir. Mr. Dixon,
Yes, ma'am.
per the representation of your lawyer, are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And the limited access 1 to 5 is a civil infraction. So, Mr. Dixon, since you're not pleading to a misdemeanor offense, I don't need the factual basis or to swear you in for the record that that no insurance ticket is being dismissed to the prosecutor's recommendation. So you're merely pleading responsible to the lesser charge of limited access 1 to 5 miles over the speed limit. It is a 2-point offense. Mr. Dixon, on the date, the time, location indicated in that ticket, ending in 0002, were you, sir, driving carelessly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, the court will accept your responsible plea. We will accept the recommendation to amend the charge to limited access, driving 1 to 5 miles over the speed limit. As we say, it's a 2-point offense and the fine is 100. Yes, ma'am.
Tamika Horn, on behalf of the people of the city of Detroit, it's my understanding the limited access 1 to 5 over is 0 points. However, it will abstract to the Secretary of State, Your Honor.
Okay, then I stand corrected, but my cheat sheet shows 2 points. But if it's 0 points, that's going to be better for Mr. Dixon. And the fine is $125. And Mr. Dixon, that amount must be paid within 14 days. Are you able to pay that within 14 days, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And
Thank
you know,
you, Your Honor.
fine. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dixon. You may disconnect from the hearing if you have no questions.
Is it possible, because I know, when I called down there that they misplaced, well, not necessarily misplaced, they have a large workload, so sometimes it'd be a little slower getting in the system. Is it possible that I can get well, I guess I have the case number, SX389-27751 0M. Well, I mean, well, not 0.
That's not what I have. Did I read the wrong case number?
Oh no, ma'am. They said that's the one that I have to come back in front of you for October 29th, I believe. Okay, well, is it possible that I can have the case number really quick so when I call down there, I can give it to them and
You know what, Mr. Dixon, we're on the live stream now and we've got one other matter to resolve. So can you call the clerk afternoon and get that information? Madam Clerk, is he able to do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so he's gonna call what phone number? 965?
2290.
2290. Mr. Dixon, just call the clerk and she'll give you that information. Call her after 12 because we still have another matter and we are streaming live on the YouTube channel, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your cooperation.
Thank you, ma'am.
You may disconnect. Can we call Miss Medina? Mr. Werbling, is that it for you, sir?
I believe so, Judge.
Okay. Can we confirm that, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Mr. Werbling will let you leave then, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge, and to you and your staff, and to Ms. Horn.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mr. Workling.
No problem. Thank you.
Now, we do have an interpreter, and I am going to swear her in for the record once I call this case number. And the case is Ramirez, correct? Juan Morera. Pardon? Is it Juan Jose Ramirez?
No, Your Honor, it's Gennaro Romero Chalel. It's at the bottom of 830. It's the second to the bottom.
Okay. All right. And are all parties in the virtual courtroom at this time?
Attorney Medina is in here, but she seems to be muted and her video is off, and her client is in the waiting room. Do you want me to bring him in as well?
Yes, please. And for the record, I'm going to swear in Madam Interpreter,
Yes.
Miss Vivian. Is it Vivian Antonia or is Antonia?
Vivian is my last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Senora Vivian, this is case number U602-17821. Gennaro Romero Chalel. And before I read any of the charges against Mr. Romero Chalel, I'm going to swear in the interpreter, Miss Antonio. Vivian, will you please raise your right hand, ma'am, and be sworn? Your name for the record, please.
My first name is Antonia, Antonia. My last name is Vivian, Vivian.
Thank you. Ms. Vivian, do you swear or affirm that you will translate accurately and completely from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. You may lower your hand and we will call the case number again. U602-17821, Gennaro Romero Chalel.
Este es caso 160-21-78-21, el caso de Gennaro Romero Chalel.
This is the date and time for trial. The charge is offering to engage the services of another for an act of prostitution.
Esto es la fecha y el horario para este caso. El acusado tiene la acusación de ofrecer a contratar los servicios de otro para un acto de prostitución.
Now, I have another case here, but the name seems to be different. Is this the same case, Madam Clerk, the same defendant? It's
No, Your Honor,
Virgilia.
it's a different person.
So did I call the right? Okay, so the other one, that person is not here.
Correct.
Okay, all right, so just one case for Mr. Romero Chalel, correct?
Solo hay un caso por el señor Romero Chalel. ¿Correcto?
All right, then if Mr. Romero Chalel is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record, sir. ¿Cómo se llama?
Señor Romero Chalel, si está en este corte virtual, diga su nombre, por favor.
Gennaro Romero Chalel.
Thank you. And who is
Gracias.
representing Senor Romero Chalel?
¿Y quién es que representa al señor Romero Chalel?
Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Romero Chalel.
Crystal Marie Medina, estoy representando al señor Romero Chalel.
Thank you. And Ms. Medina, for the record, your P number, please.
P number 77211.
Y por la acta, señora Medina, ¿cuál es tu P número 77211?
And Madam Prosecutor, will you be representing the people today?
Y fiscal, ¿usted está representando las personas hoy?
Yes, Your Honor, and good morning. Tamika Horn on behalf of the people of the city of Detroit, P70303.
Now, this matter is scheduled for trial. The officer was here. Is the officer still here?
Este Tamika Horn, la Fiscalía por la Corte número 70303. La oficial de policía estaba aquí, todavía está presente.
Your Honor, Officer Luna, for the record, was here. She is not here now. However, if the court needs me to contact her, I can call her back in.
La oficial Mónica Luna estaba aquí, no está presente, pero la puedo llamar si la corte necesita la presencia de ella.
Okay, how are we proceeding, Attorney Medina?
¿Cómo vamos a proceder, abogada Medina?
Your Honor, my client is prepared to avail himself of the offer made by the people. He is prepared to plead at this time, Your Honor.
Su señoría, mi cliente está preparado para aprovechar de la oferta ofrecida por las personas y se va a declarar hoy.
And
Your Honor,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I was just going to ask at this time, Ms. Medina, will Mr. Romero Chalil be making a factual basis for the plea, or will we be taking the factual basis from the ticket?
Yo quería saber si el señor Romero Chilel vamos a tener la base fáctica por la etiqueta o en otra manera.
Your Honor, I believe from the ticket would be, I guess, not preferred, but from the ticket, Your Honor. And I will know in that regard that I have spoken to Mr. Romero Chalel about the specific potential immigration consequences that may be associated with this matter, Your Honor. I just do have to make a record of that.
Thank you.
Sí, vamos a usar la base fáctica de la etiqueta. Su señoría, yo había hablado con el señor Romero Chilel y le expliqué que es posible que van a haber consecuencias de inmigración.
And Madam Prosecutor, is it sufficient to refer to the factual basis on the face of the ticket and not read that factual basis into the record, or are you requesting that we read the factual basis into the record?
Entonces, Fiscalía, ¿usted quiere que nosotros referemos a la base fáctica por la etiqueta o tenemos que leer la base fáctica por la acta para que se entregue en la acta?
The factual basis on the face of the ticket is sufficient, Your Honor. The people do so stipulate.
Thank you.
Su señoría, la base fáctica en la etiqueta es suficiente. Las personas estipulan esto.
Thank
Gracias.
you. Senor Romero Chalel, you have heard the representation of your lawyer.
Señor Romero Chilel, usted escuchó la representación de tu abogada.
Were you advised of your right to a trial?
¿Fuiste avisado de tu derecho de tener un juicio?
And Mr. Romero.
I didn't hear him respond.
Oh,
¿Qué es tu respuesta?
Sí, fui avisado.
Yes.
and sir, if you were to have that trial, it would normally take place inside the 36th District Court. But because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today. Is that correct?
Señor Romero Chilel, su caso está aquí en el corte de la 36 District y si también quiere mover adelante en juicio, pero por la pandemia la corte está cerrada. Entonces, ¿usted está de acuerdo de estar aquí en Zoom?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights?
¿Tuviste la oportunidad de hablar con tu abogada en el caso de todos tus derechos?
Sí.
Yes.
Did anyone threaten you, force
Al-
you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea today?
¿Alguno te amenazó, esforzó o prometió algo para que tú te declares hoy?
No.
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
¿Y usted se está declarando culpable por su propia voluntad?
Sí.
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are actually guilty?
¿Y te estás declarando culpable porque sí sos culpable?
Sí.
Yes.
And sir, you understand that by pleading guilty, you will be waiving or giving up your right to a trial.
¿Y usted entiende que cuando se declara culpable, renuncia a sus derechos de tener un juicio?
Sí.
Sir, earlier, the court has the understanding through your lawyer that
Antes tenemos lo que entendemos por su abogada
that for purposes of your plea,
y
we
que
will
por los motivos de tu declaración,
we will take the factual basis from the face of the ticket.
vamos a usar la base fáctica por la frente o la cara de la etiqueta.
Do you understand that?
¿Entiendes eso?
Sí.
Yes.
And Ms. Medina, do you so stipulate to that factual basis on the face of the ticket?
Y señorita Medina, ¿usted estipula de la base fáctica en la cara de esta etiqueta?
Your Honor, so stipulated, I would just note for the record that Mr. Romero Chila wanted to avail himself of the offer made. We had a sidebar in which I had asked for the factual basis to be to the amended charge, that it was not an option. And so we
I don't
just
know if that's a yes or no, Ms. Medina. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I don't want you to confuse the record or your response. Are you
Correct, Your
stipulating
Honor.
to the factual basis? Yes?
Correct, Your Honor. The people would ask that those remarks be stricken from the record.
And they are stricken. And Ms. Medina, please, I don't want to make this more laborious than it needs to be. You have placed on the record the information that you have provided to your client. I'm simply asking you now.
Vamos a estipular que los comentarios que fueron hechos se van a sacar de la acta. Entonces te estamos estipulando las preguntas ahora por la estipulación de la base fáctica.
so
I'm
stipulated.
All right,
So
thank you.
stipulated, Your Honor. You're welcome.
Sí, estipulo,
Then
estoy
the
de acuerdo.
factual basis is taken from the face of the ticket, which the court will not read into the record at this time, but both parties have stipulated to its being part of this record.
Entonces la base fáctica se va a tomar de la cara de la etiqueta y no se va a leer aquí en la acta y están de acuerdo los dos contrayentes.
Thank you. Now, for purposes of sentencing,
Ahora,
Ms.
para el motivo de sentencia,
did the prosecutor make an offer to your client that you are accepting at this time, or is the police going to be straight up to the charge?
la fiscalía hizo una oferta por esta sentencia o se cambió depende en este cargo.
Your Honor, my-
Because,
oh.
no, I was just going to say, because this charge has a mandatory jail sentence if it is as written. Is that right, Madam Prosecutor?
That is correct. A maximum $500 fine along with 90 days in jail. However, the defendant is pleading to an amended charge of disorderly conduct.
And my,
Me parece que esta sentencia también tiene una obligación de tiempo en cárcel. La fiscalía dijo, sí, es una multa de $500 y 90 días en cárcel, pero se va a declarar para un cargo reducido de conducta desordenada.
Ms. Medina, is that your understanding?
Señorita Medina, ¿eso es lo que usted entiende?
On
My-
behalf of the client? Yes?
My understanding on behalf of my client was that there is a sentence recommendation of 6 months non-reporting
Ms.
probation.
Medina, please try to listen to the question I'm asking you, okay? Is it your understanding that your client is pleading to the amended charge of disorderly conduct? That's all.
Yes, Your Honor.
Señorita Medina, usted entiende que su cliente se está declarando por el cargo reducido. Sí, su señoría.
Thank you. Now, Madam
Gracias.
Prosecutor, what is the recommendation that Ms. Medina was trying to put into the record?
Entonces, señorita de la Fiscalía, ¿qué es la sentencia que la señora Medina quería poner en la acta?
And yes, correctly, as stated, a 6-month non-reporting probationary period.
Sí, como ella dijo, 6 meses de libertad condicional sin que tiene que reportar.
And STI testing that the results would be confidential.
Y también estudios de STI y que los resultados van a ser en confianza.
Okay, now, STI, that normally the court asks for an HIV test, which is confidential. However, the defendant must show the court proof that that test has been taken, not the results of that test, but that the test was taken.
La ITS sí, y también la VIH, porque necesitamos las pruebas de esos estudios. Él tiene que tomar esos estudios. No tenemos que saber los resultados, pero tenemos que tener la prueba que sí tuvo hecho esos estudios.
And you are correct, Your Honor. Thank you.
Sí, usted está correcta, su señoría. Gracias.
And we will give the defendant 30 days to take that test.
El acusado tiene 30 días por tomar ese estudio.
And Ms. Medina, all he needs to do is show the court proof that he has taken that test. And he can take it, I don't know, LaSed used to make referrals for testing. I don't know, where is Mr. Chalel Romero familiar with LaSed?
Entonces, señorita Medina, tu cliente necesita una referencia para estos estudios, se los tiene que hacer entre 30 días. ¿Él tiene conciencia o sabe de la SED?
Your Honor, I believe he does. If not, I will make sure that he has that information before he leaves here today.
Okay.
Su señoría, yo creo que sí, él sabe, pero si no, yo le doy esa información antes que se va de aquí hoy.
So the court is, as a condition of accepting the lesser or amended charge of disorderly conduct, placing him on a 6-month non-reporting probation. He must take the HIV test within 30 days.
Entonces, si la corte acepta las condiciones de este cargo que fue reducido, sí tiene libertad condicional que no tiene que reportar para 6 meses y se tiene que hacer los estudios de VIH entre 30 días.
Now, Madam Prosecutor, normally the court also requires attendance at the misdemeanor morality program, which I believe is an hour on a Saturday. Because of the language barrier, I don't know, are the people requesting that class as part of this probation?
Y también parte de esta libertad condicional puede ser el programa, que es una clase en la moralidad. Señorita Fiscalía, usted sabe con el la falta de idioma de este acusado, si hay algún programa para él.
And at this time, no, Your Honor.
En este tiempo no, su señoría.
All right, then we will not impose that requirement. But
Entonces no ponemos esa obligación.
Senor Romero Chalel must pay the fine of $300.
Entonces el señor Morero Chilel tiene que pagar la multa de $300.
And normally, because this is a misdemeanor offense, we will give him 30 days to pay unless he needs additional time.
Y esta es una ofensa que es un delito menor, entonces le damos 30 días para pagar esta multa, pero si necesita él más tiempo.
And are you employed, Senor Romero Chalel?
Señor Romero Chilel, ¿usted está empleado?
Sí, estoy trabajando.
Yes, I work.
What do you do, sir?
¿Qué hace usted, señor?
Trabajamos en una compañía que se llama CAMS Pallets. Hacemos pala para cargas.
I work for a company that makes some kind of pallets for loading.
Your Honor,
¿Lo podés repetir? I'm going to ask him to repeat that. I'm not sure I understood.
La compañía se llama CAMS Pallets.
Oh,
Sí,
the company is called Camps Pallets.
Trabajo
Okay,
en unas paletas para cargar.
so
So we
would you
make
be able
pallets
to-
for loading.
Okay, would you be able to pay that $300 in 30 days?
¿Usted puede pagar los $300 en 30 días
Or do you need more time?
o necesitas más tiempo?
Quiero pagar.
I want to pay.
Okay, and so we'll give you 30 days and 30 days to take that HIV test.
Y tenés 30 días para pagar esa multa y 30 días para hacerte ese estudio de VIH.
And
HB.
if you have no new charges of this nature within 6 months, so that 6-month,
Y no podés tener ningún cargo de esta manera entre 6 meses. Y los
this
6
matter will
meses,
be dismissed as of September 27. Is that what we're, oh no, not dismissed, I'm sorry. It will be permanently amended to that disorderly conduct and closed. Is that right, Madam Prosecutor?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay,
entonces, este asunto va a ser para el cargo reducido y termina el tiempo en el 27 de septiembre.
right, September 27. And you will not have to return unless the money has not been paid, we have not received the proof of your testing, or you have picked up a new charge.
Entonces, en el 27 de septiembre no te tenés que presentar en la corte mientras que ya has pagado tu multa y tuviste los estudios hechos y que no te agarres un nuevo cargo.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Mr. Romero Chalel, any questions? Or Ms. Medina, on behalf of your client, any questions?
Señor Romero Chinel, ¿tiene algunas preguntas o señorita Medina tiene alguna pregunta por su cliente?
no, Your Honor, I do not have any questions.
No, su señoría, no tengo ninguna pregunta.
Gracias.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Adios.
Madam Interpreter. Thank you, Ms. Horn.
You're
Have
welcome.
a nice
Thank you.
day.
Thank you, everyone.
thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. You may disconnect. the
Gracias.
hearing.
Puedes
Gracias.
desconectar, puedes colgar.